Hi everyone, here's an instructional video on how to create your timeline. Now the timeline ties into your production plan. You've already allocated the different dates and time that you are going to take to do each step in your production plan. So these tasks here come directly from your production plan. They're not new ones, they're literally in the order that you have said you will do them in your production plan. The dates where you have classes will be along the top here, and it'll be indicated whether you have a single or double on the pro forma that I have prepared for you. Just this. Okay, so you can see on this one that in the blue week we have 2 double periods, in the white week we have 1. Now what it is here is that there's a white week at the end of term and a white week at the start of term 3, but normally there's just 1 double period in a white week. So that is how your timeline is laid out from the day we should start production until the date where we finish production. In this example here, you can see that the student has used pink to indicate when she planned to do each of these tasks. So the task 1 on her production plan, which may have been laying out and cutting her pieces, she planned to do on this date, and she planned for it to take a single period. Whereas task 4 on her production plan, she actually planned for it to take 3 double periods in time. So you just accurately record the date, the time that you have allocated on your production plan in here by colouring in the boxes that correspond. When you are doing your production, you record when you actually did that task and how long it took. So for example, you can see with task 1, she actually did it in the period that she planned to do it and completed in that time. Task 2, task 3 again. Task 4, however, she planned that it would take 3 periods and that she would do it here. However, the actual was that it only took a double, and she didn't do that task until the 12th of August. Now there could be lots of reasons for that. She might have got to that and realised her sequencing was out and that she actually needed to do some of her other tasks before she started that task, such as task 11. Or it could have been that something happened and she was absent in that time, so she was a bit later starting. So the reason for recording when you plan to do tasks and when you actually did them is so that when you go back and you're evaluating your efficiency and your time management in your product design process evaluation, you can actually refer back to your timeline and talk about your sequencing of tasks or your estimation of tasks and whether you accurately estimated how long things would take and when you might get them done. It's a really good document that you use as evidence. Remember, it's really important with all of these things that you actually have evidence that proves it's not just you saying, yeah, I thought I did all right with time management. You can say, you can see from my timeline when I compared my planning and what dates things would occur to the recording of my actual, that I had these issues or that I was able to manage my time accurately. So it's just a matter of setting this up, transferring the information across from your production plan, and then printing it out, putting in your folio, and simply colouring in the boxes as you go. That's the easiest way to do it. So the pro forma, this pro forma that I've set up for you will be on Edmodo as well. Simply task 1 plan, task 1 actual. So you would repeat that down, task 2 plan, task 2 actual. Then I would refer back to my plan, and if it said that my first task of laying out and cutting my fabrics was going to take a double period, then I would colour in the double period. Again, go back to my production plan, task 2, which may be laying out and cutting some smaller pieces, and I might think, well, I could get those started in that double, and then I'd probably finish them halfway through the double on the Thursday. Okay, so you can do more than one task in a lesson. Obviously some tasks will only take you 10 minutes, other tasks might take a whole double period. So you should work out by the time you get all your tasks from your production plan in here, then your yellow dots should be finishing here when you're due to finish. If they're not, if you're running out of time, then you need to look at this stage about whether you might need to modify what you're doing. If you're finishing far too early, then you might need to look at how accurate your time estimates have been. So again, this is a good document to send through to me with your draft of your production plan, and I can help you look at your time management. I hope that helps. Please work on this today and send your drafts through to me. Bye.